This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
Of the Nixon administration, the period we initially planned to describe in the narrative. In the course of interviewing, we realized that to explain the last 100 days, we would have to deal extensively with earlier periods, particularly the 6 months after April 30th, 1973, when President Nixon's chief aides resigned. We have attempted to check every detail in the course of reconstructing events. In reporting meetings, for example, we were able, in almost all instances, to talk to one or more of the participants. If we obtained two versions, we resolved disagreements through re-interviewing. If this proved impossible, we left out any material we could not confirm. In a few instances, there were meetings between two participants where we were unable to obtain a direct account from either. In those cases, we interviewed people the participants talked to immediately afterward. Nothing in this book has been reconstructed without accounts from at least two people. We were fortunate. In those last days in the White House, the principals compared notes among themselves and with their assistants. We did not accord equal weight to all sources. In the course of over 3 years of reporting on the Nixon administration, we had learned to place extraordinary trust in the accuracy and candor of some sources. We had also talked regularly over the same period of time with a small number of people who consistently sought to give versions of events that were slanted, self-serving, or otherwise untrustworthy. We used information from them only when we were convinced by more reliable sources of its accuracy. Bob Woodward, Carl Bernstein, December 1975. Cast of characters. Page 9, first line. Friend of the President. Carl Albert, Speaker of the House. Ollie Atkins, Official White House Photographer. Richard Benveniste, Assistant Watergate Special Prosecutor. Lieutenant Colonel Jack Brennan, Military Aide to the President. Patrick J. Buchanan, Assistant to the President, Speechwriter. Philip Buchan, Friend of the Vice President, Coordinator, Transition Team. Stephen Boll, Personal Aide to the President. Dean Birch, Political Counselor to the President. Warren Burger, Chief Justice of the United States. Arthur F. Burns, Chairman of the Federal Reserve Board, former Counselor to the President. George Bush, Chairman, Republican National Committee. Caldwell M. Butler, Congressman, Republican of Virginia, Member, House Judiciary Committee. Alexander P. Butterfield, former Assistant to H.R. Haldeman. J. Fred Buzzard, Special White House Counsel for Watergate, former Counsel, Department of Defense. Joseph Califano, Washington Attorney. Ken W. Clausen, Director of Communications, the White House. Charles W. Colson, former Special Counsel to the President. Barber B. Conable, Jr., Congressman, Republican of New York, fourth-ranking member of the minority. Lieutenant Commander Andrew Coombs, skipper of the presidential yacht Sequoia. Archibald Cox, Watergate Special Prosecutor. Edward Cox, son-in-law of the President. Tricia Nixon Cox, daughter of the President. John W. Dean III, former counsel to the President. Tom DeCare, press aide, the White House. John Doerr, counsel, House Judiciary Committee. James Doyle, press chief, Watergate Special Prosecution Force. Lawrence Eagleburger, assistant to Secretary of State Kissinger. John D. Ehrlichman, former assistant to the President for Domestic Affairs. David Eisenhower, son-in-law of the President. Julie Nixon Eisenhower, daughter of the President. Senator Sam Ervin, Chairman, Senate Watergate Committee. Margaret Foote, Secretary to Raymond K. Price, Jr. Gerald R. Ford, Vice President of the United States. Frank Gannon, Deputy to Ronald L. Ziegler. Leonard Garment, Counsel to the President. David Gergen, White House speechwriter. Connie Gerard, Secretary, White House Press Office. Barry Goldwater, Senator, Republican.